thing that I always try to remember, no matter what someone's coming for, whether it's treatment or anything, is that people are coming for a massage. And that might sound like a really simple concept, but sometimes people get so caught up in doing things in a massage that they forget that when people leave your table, they still want to be relaxed. They still want to feel like, hey, I got a massage, not just a treatment. And maybe not every person wants that, but the ones that keep coming back do. So we will start, just like with any massage, with some compressions and rocking and warm up. And what nervous system are we activating? Perfect, yes. And Monique has no problems with any oils or with any type of a product. So with cupping, you do want to use an oil, especially with the silicone cups, but you want to use the appropriate amount of oil, because if you use too much, your client will be a greasy mess when they're done, and that's not so great. And sometimes it doesn't really take that much oil for it to turn out like that. And so Monique, I'm going to undrape you to right here.
Does the amount of oil also affect how much the cup sucks in?
Yes. If the cups do not stay on, then sometimes you don't have enough oil, but again, when you're reapplying, you don't want to get crazy about it. Okay. So, for some bizarre reason, sometimes when I start doing a massage, my right hand is cold. I don't know why. Sometimes not, but I'm sorry, Monique, today is that day. So, it will warm up within a minute, but it's not chilly. I don't have enough now. And I do not have the best container with me today. Normally, I would want one that I could just get the oil with one hand. With cupping, as with lots of modalities, there's lots of warm-up. And Lucy, would you do me a big favor and get me 2 hot towels, please? Because I kind of forgot what I was going to do.
Let's see, I will check the dry towel here first.
So, Monique, I'm going to put hot towels on your feet. Is that okay with you? So the reason that we do this with the hot towels, for one thing, it does feel great. For another thing, we do have a treatment with the cups that involves the feet, and the feet need to be ready to receive the cups. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, and most people, their feet are not quite ready to receive the cups when they first come in. So wrapping them in the warm towel does help. How's this heat for you, Minnie?
It's good.
Okay. And of course, when you are using hot towels, you do want to be sure they are warm but not blistering hot. And sometimes, honestly, they can get really, really hot in a towel caddy. I don't know if any of you have ever had a hot towel applied that is a little too much. So, how are your feet, Monique, okay?
Yeah, it's good.
And Jill, if you could pause 1 second, Lucy, in front of the camera, is gonna show what to do when they come out of the hot towel cabbie and they're too hot.
Okay. Yeah. So when it's too hot, we hinge on both sides like that and just do like that and apply direct to.
Could you see how it was literally steaming when it came out? So you shake it out,
You shake
and you could test it. Make sure you cooled it enough.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Welcome.
And lots of really broad strokes when you are warming up and doing a relaxation massage are very relaxing for folks. And it is not, I wouldn't say it's an everyday thing that people come in for relaxation and want cupping, but it does happen for sure.
I'm great.
Okay.
How relaxed she is just with the intro just makes me want to bring up like those hot towels. You know, they can add so much to a session, even if you're not doing it to get the feet ready for cupping. Just adding the hot towels on the feet, on the legs, like when you have a pedicure.
Yes.
And then later Lucy will show you a beautiful way to use them on the face. So they really add a lot. We have a professional towel cabbie, but you could rig up your own system if you don't have that, yeah. The three of us work somewhere where they let us use as many towels as we want, and they encourage it for every single treatment.
And
And it's really lovely.
yeah,
And the hot packs,
and the
yeah.
hot packs from the hydrocollator. And how's this pressure for you? Would you like more or less, or is this about right?
That's all right.
I mean, what number?
Oh, okay.
What number is it? That's what I meant.
It's a 6, it's a 7. 6.5, 7.
Okay.
I have a question. If this was like an hour massage, how long would you take like warming up and doing Swedish and, I'm sorry, an hour cupping session or?
Probably 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Are they typically about an hour, or do you allow more time?
For a relaxation, an hour is plenty. Really. And we aren't going to do, you know, the whole hour. Sorry, Monique. But
Aww.
I know.
Yeah, it's 11:20 as soon as
Oh,
things
it
are
is.
warmed up enough for cups.
All right. I didn't know
I
what time
see
it
you
was.
are in relaxing mode there.
I know.
Could you exhaust the muscles? Like, is there a time, a certain amount of hours you can't have the cups on anymore?
Yeah, you can leave them on in one spot too long for sure. If I would say definitely less than 15 minutes in a spot. Sometimes only 5 or 10, but you'll start to see if it gets a little raised, because it could literally cause a blister
Yes.
if you left it there too long.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you definitely don't want that. The way the course that I'm taking, they identify the cups by letter. So from the very tiniest, this is an A, B, C, D, they call these C cups. I know. When you are doing the cupping, you want to be lifting as you're going.
And Jill did it really fast, but while she's doing that, I'm just going to call attention to the fact that a lot of people, I would say the vast majority, cold cup. It is not essential to warm up the cups, but it is a lovely touch. So Jill has hers warmed in the little traveling suitcase style of warmer. It adds a whole, another delicious element to the session to have them warmed. Just some kind of a warm heater like that travel warmer that is dry, because if you use like the moist heat, you don't want to get all the like steam in the cups.
Right, and I did bring a heating pad today that somebody's very welcome to use, as well as the travel case. And actually, if there is a station that's empty between, I would turn on the table warmer and use that next to the station. That's what I would do.
Oh, just to heat up the.
Yes.
I see.
It feels so much better when they're warm.
And what Jill's doing now is called running cupping.
And Monique, would you like more suction or less suction?
Oh, no, it's the suction is good.
Okay.
And it's lovely to do it bilaterally, running cupping on the erector spinae or the shoulders or wherever you're capable of doing it bilaterally. But it is 100% okay. In many places, you'll just use one cup in your hand.
Yes.
So kind of like the hot stones, where you're not always having 2 stones in each hand.
Yes. If you are just going to use one, it's fine to leave the second one right at the top of the scapula where a lot of folks usually have a lot of tension. When you start to cup on the sides, you'll want to anchor the skin because otherwise it may get to be uncomfortable.
And that's still the warm-up running cupping, right?
It's part of the relaxation, yes. It's not like necessarily warming up.
Okay.
If I were going to be doing some type of a treatment, then I do this just for like a minute or two just to get people used to it. And actually, you know, you want their nervous system to trust you and to trust that you're not going to hurt them.
But whenever you're moving the cups, that's running cupping.
And what's, to me, honestly, the best thing about the silicone cups is the fact that you can easily go over bony landmarks, whereas the hard cups, sometimes it hurts. You okay?
Well, that feels good.
Okay.
See how Jill is stabilizing the tissue with her other hand? So use all your massage skills and your palpation skills. The cupping speed is going to vary, and if it's too intense for the person, oftentimes you just need to slow down. Just like MFR or deep tissue, you know, it's not always that you need to lighten up. Sometimes you just need to slow down, or you may need to lighten the suction.
To lighten it, you just would take it off and then like repress it.
Yes, yes.
Do you always want to apply up here? I noticed that when you come off.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
If you guys weren't watching, I probably wouldn't be doing that. To be honest. If it pops off, usually I just put it back on where it
Okay.
popped off.
But just like with other techniques, and I would say even more so with the cups, a lot of times people are more sensitive in their low back.
Yes.
But so be definitely aware that it might need either lighter pressure, more warm up, or slowing down. It will not usually take the same depth and cruising speed as the shoulders do. And in pregnancy, can you do the low back, like with the cups, or is that the area that should be avoided?
Again, it would depend on the individual receiving the cupping. I would be hesitant, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I'd really have to know a lot about that particular person.
I would be more careful around the pelvis too because of
Yeah.
the ligaments, right? And the sacrum, you don't want to cause any instability. But the back, the rest of the back should be okay. Yeah. And the feet.
Is that one okay, the low back one?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. She's almost moaning over here. It's great to leave one down on L5, S1. Depending on your client, it's also great to put one on right on the sacrum. It's incredibly relaxing.
It feels amazing. So relaxing. I want one right now.
Yeah, but I'm going down the spine. I could feel
Yeah.
my spine being like, I want that.
My turn. You should put in that number.
Do check in regarding pressure.
Sorry that I'm laughing, but I'm happy you like it.
Yes.
I don't normally laugh when I'm in the clinic. Well,
Do check in regarding pressure. So far I've been mostly talking about not using too much pressure and caution like for the low back. However, like Jill mentioned in the classroom, usually people want more pressure than you think.
yes.
So don't undercup them. So
Yeah.
check in. Most people love that feeling of suction. It's a very enjoyable sensation for most people. It's like that feeling of like getting good enough deep tissue to really release the tight spots. Like, don't skimp on it. Don't be afraid of it.
Right. So everything's good up here, Monique? Okay.
Do you have specific spots in the spine, or are you just kind of?
Well, up near C7.
C7. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then again, I would typically push that down a little bit.
And the placement of all of them, is that just based on what you found on her?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But definitely great candidates are all the trigger point spots, the adhesions, that like where the levator scapula attaches and the famous trapezius trigger point on top. And so just all those tight spots are all wanting the cups.
Almost everything wants a cup. Honestly. So, what we're going to do on her feet, now that she has been nice and warmed up,